Hello, North Carolina Bail Agents. I am Julie Henderson, a board member with the North Carolina Bail Agents Association. We are publishing this video in hopes that it may assist bail agents as they navigate the eCourts and eFile system in North Carolina. We have a lot of agents who have questions about how the system works and where to begin. We have put together a companion handout that should have screenshots and step-by-step instructions of how to perform all of the tasks in this presentation. We would also like to make mention of the fact that there are eCourts training seminars available through AOC set up throughout the state. As bondsmen, we should be able to sign up for and take these classes. However, we have heard feedback from multiple agents that they were denied access to these classes. I would also like to say that these classes will not be bonding specific. This presentation was originally provided to attendees of our annual meeting in Cherokee by board member Jason Cunningham. The audio did not record as we would have hoped, so we have re-recorded it. We thank Jason for his time and effort in helping to compile this information and for presenting it previously in Cherokee. I would like to mention up front that anything processed through eCourts will now be available to the public. This includes your bonds that you post and the motions that you file. Your business is literally available for anyone to see. We're going to go into an overview here of what this will entail, this presentation. What is the difference between eCourts, eFile, and Odyssey? Creating a username in the eCourts portal, how to search by name and case number, differences between civil and criminal cases, how to perform a pending forfeiture list search, eFile setup for an agency, how to file a motion, forms of service to district attorney and school board attorneys, additional items to be aware of, and what we like to call get ahead of the rollout. So more information is always available about this, about eCourts. The rollout schedule of the tracks, informational videos, and more is on the eCourts.gov website. But a simplified definition of the systems. So Odyssey is what we will hear the clerk's office and judicial officials call this side of the new system that they deal with. We, however, as bail agents are getting access to the eCourts or the portal. That is the public side, and that is what we currently have access to. eFile is how to file motions into the civil case or forfeiture. This is just a sample of one of the eCourts flyers that is again available on the eCourts or the nccourts.gov website. So the step one would be creating a username and password for eCourts or portal. Again, eCourts is the public side. This is where you can look up cases and case information. You do not have to register an eCourts portal to gain access. However, if you do not create a username and password, then you will be asked to verify you are a human via a CAPTCHA entry every time. It is much easier to create the username and password. So also, even with a username and password, you will occasionally be required to fill in a CAPTCHA security check. Those are few and far between. Again, it's just much easier to go ahead and create the username and password. So you're going to go to the https portal nctylertech.cloud/portal. It lists again the web address there on your handout. You can click on register/sign in. You will choose register. You will then fill in all the required fields, your name, email, your password, phone number, etc. You will then hit next. You should get a registration complete notice that instructs you to go to your email to verify your account. From that email, you would then verify the account and get an email validation notification. At that point, you would click on login. You will then be redirected back to that https portal NC Tyler Tech Cloud portal. You will use your newly created username and password to log in. You must click on the box that says I have read and agreed to the terms of use, and then you can click on sign on. So searching by name. this is one of the ways that you can search. Obviously, from the home page, we're going to click on the Smart Search box that's there. Then you are going to go right below that to the Search Criteria box. That is where you would enter last name, comma, space, first name. Then you would click on Submit. Then you're going to get, hopefully, a list. And from that list, you can see here several on that. You would click on the file that you want. It's going to be underlined in blue. That's the one that you would want to click on. It will open in a new window. If the search did not locate the case that you needed, you can refine your search using the advanced filtering options, which is located below the search criteria box. It's actually going to be below this box here. You can try and pinpoint by county, gender, date of birth, and many other options. Once your choices are input, click Submit to rerun the search. Now, when you put in date of birth, I believe it won't let you pinpoint to an exact date of birth, which is unfortunate. You can pinpoint by, I believe, year. Navigation tabs and printing, this is pretty self-explanatory, but once you pull up that file, that underlined blue case number, and it opens in the new window, you can click on any of these tabs here to jump to the section that you want to see. If you want to print any of this data here, then obviously the print icon is up here in the right-hand side. This is a printed view of that same case we were just looking at. This is 3 pages worth of data. What I did was just try to highlight a few of the things that we normally are looking for, pretty frequently. So up here at the top, you're going to see the case number. Again, case numbers are going to be listed as the case number dash in the county code. So for Henderson County, the county code is 440. You're going to put in the case number dash 440. That's one of the items. Here it's going to show the charge or the offense for this case number. Now, for case numbers that have multiple offenses, you will see multiple numbers here listed below, and you will see the charges next to that. Here on the right is what you will see as pending, disposed, kind of the status of the case, as well as the next court date. Now, that feature right there is a little off. Sometimes you will see a case that shows disposed when it was the original underlying charges that were disposed, not the probation violation, that sort of thing. So you do need to read through the case notes to find out exactly the status of the case. This here actually shows the defendant's name and address. Obviously, that's something we're very interested in, so that's where you would find that. At the very bottom is where you normally find the bond amount. You can usually see the bond amount, secured, unsecured, the judge who set it, that sort of thing. So also, just remember that while navigating the system, that many of the items that you previously had to go to the clerk's office to obtain are now going to be available online. You can find your orders for arrest served, a bond that has had the warrant recalled and forfeiture stricken, etc. All of that will now all be available here. Your forfeitures are now usually all available online as well. You can potentially file the motion on something that happened on the bond before you ever even receive the forfeiture in the mail. This slide shows several items, needed for the bondsman. Again, all of those items we look at and we need very quickly: case number, offense, pending disposed status, defendant's name and address, and bond amounts. So searching by case number. From the home page, again, we would click on Smart Search. In the search criteria box, enter the case number with no spaces and include that dash in county code like we spoke about before. That's going to be right there. You're going to click on Submit. Then the specific case you are looking for should show on the search results, which would be here. If you would like to see the details of, again, click on the blue underlined case number On the left-hand side of the screen to go into the file, it will again open in a new window. Most of the time when a case number is entered and no cases match your search shows, it is a result of a typo or the system just not cooperating. Recheck your case number and re-enter. Lots of days the system becomes slow or stops running. Be patient and try again in a few minutes. My experience, it usually runs very slow or it doesn't want to run at all in the mornings. For some reason, I don't know if that means there's a lot of people using the server or what the circumstance may be, but that's my personal experience. I usually just give it 5-10 minutes, come back and try again. This is the better way to find the information if you're trying to find a case versus the name search. The name search is incredibly problematic at times. So this is the way that I explain it to people when I'm trying to show them the system, the difference between civil and criminal cases. So the civil, which is actually going to be listed right here on this example, it shows state of North Carolina versus and the defendant's name. That is the civil side. That's what it would have been in VCAP. That's the equivalent of the VCAP. The criminal will show the case number and just the defendant name. That's what our ACES would have showed us. So hopefully that correlation helps keep those straight in your mind. How to run a pending forfeiture list. So this is something that we had asked for from the get-go when we heard and saw, eCourts and that sort of thing. Lots of bondsmen want to see, hey, what forfeitures do I still show out there? What does my subagent show out there? Surety companies use this feature in VCAP nonstop. So up until a couple of months ago, I think it was about a month and a half ago, Jason Cunningham and myself actually got to sit down with two ladies from AOC who are kind of like their bond gurus for the system, and they were able to show us this feature. So we're really happy to be able to pass that along to you guys. So how to run a pending forfeiture list. So from that same main screen, we are going to enter the last name, comma, space, first name, and then we're going to enter an asterisk after that first name. It's right there. And then we're going to hit change advanced filtering options. We are going to filter by location, leave as all, or specify the county. If you want to run just for your home county, you can, or you can leave it as all to search statewide. You're then going to change filter by search type, and you're going to change that to business name, and then you're going to leave cases checked. Scroll down to the case search criteria section, change filter by case type to bond forfeiture, change filter by file date start, and the filter by file date end. We recommend using last year as a date frame or range. If you do not pinpoint the date frame or range, then that's going to give you every forfeiture that you've ever had. Then you would hit submit. List will show pending and disposed. So over here you might see some pending and disposed. You do have to go into the case to see the status of the forfeiture. Motion filed, motion not filed, etc. The list does not populate like VCAP did with a summary screen showing the due date, order, or motion filed status. So that is absolutely something that we would love to see them correct or fix or alter. However, from the information we were told from those two ladies from AOC, that is something that would be very, very low on their list of priorities as they're working out the kinks and the alterations that need to be made to the program. Now we're going to move on how to set up an agency and eFile for filing motions. For file and serve, if there are multiple people within the same agency that will need to use file and serve, it is best to create a firm account. Additionally, they must add a dummy filing attorney and create a waiver payment account detail. The details of the dummy filing attorney for the initial setup of the firm account are as follows. first name would equal or be N/A-Court partner. Last name should be eFiler, all caps. Bar number should be this 999981. I also encourage you to take a look at the additional resources available again on the nccourts.gov for further information on e-filing, file and serve guide. I would like to say again, thanks to Jason Cunningham. He is the one who figured out this piece of information for us of how to set up the firm account and the criteria that it took to get that going. So here we go, e-file registration. We're going to go to this web address. Again, that should be on your companion handout. This is a different page than the eCourts or portal. So you're going to have a username and password for the eCourts and a username and password for the eFile. They are two separate systems. You're going to click on Register Firm Account. You're going to fill in all the fields, click the box to agree to the terms of condition, and click on Register. You should receive a registration successful message directing you to your email to confirm. When you go into your email, you should see the new user activation email. Click on the link to activate account. You should then see a screen that says sign in now. You will then be redirected back to that landing page for eFile. Click the sign into your account. Enter your user ID, which is your email, and password that you just set up, and click on Sign In. Once signed in, you will see the following message. Click on Add Attorney. Do not use the link. Use the box that's here below. Again, you're going to enter that criteria we just spoke about of the NA-Court partner for the first name, e-filer for last name, the code of the 999981 for bar number, and then click on Add Attorney. Go to the home screen and click on Add a Payment Account. You're going to now click on Add Account. Then you're going to add in details for the account name, which would be the NA-Court partner e-filer. The payment type needs to be waiver. Account type needs to be waiver, and then click on Save. You are now ready to file your motions. Okay, now we're here to filing a motion. So have your motion scanned into a document for easy access on your computer. You're going to click on Start Filing, which will be here on the left-hand side of your screen in the blue. Then you're going to click on File into an existing case. You're going to then click on Submit. Then you're going to choose the location of the case from the drop-down list. So for a Henderson County District charge, we're going to type in Henderson County. You should see several options. You're going to pick the district. The case number example of how it needs to be inputted is here, there on the right. That also, again, is going to be the case number, the dash, and the county code. Remember that only fields marked in red need to be filled in. There are lots of extra blanks that could have something typed into them in the filing motion or e-file system, but you don't need to enter anything into those. Only the fields that are marked in red need to be filled in. So type in case numbers with county code, the hyphen, and the case number, excuse me, the hyphen and the county code. Then you would click on Search. Click on Actions and choose File into Case, which is right here. Click on Parties. You will see a list of parties on the case. That should list the clerk of court. It should list you, the defendant, the surety company. I will say that cases that for Henderson County, we came online on July 22nd. Anything prior to July 22nd actually does not show the school board attorney listed. Any cases that have hit after the 7/22 launch date do in fact show the school board attorney listed. So I think that we can anticipate seeing that work itself out as time goes on. You're going to click on Add Filing. Then you're going to leave as eFile only if not serving additional parties. You're going to change filing code to bond. Then you're going to scroll down to select file and click on Save. You can upload the file from your computer or device and click on Save. You need to change the security to public. Click on Save. Click on Service or Skip to Fees. If you wish, you can add parties to service here. Click on Fees. Change the payment account to whatever name you gave your account. Change party responsible for fees to State of North Carolina and click on Summary. You must click on all the boxes to agree to submission agreements and then click on Submit. At this point, you should get something that says you have filed. You have an envelope submitted and you have successfully filed your motion. You should get an envelope submitted notification when complete. You should get an email stating filing submitted. You should also get another email stating filing accepted when the clerk accepts the filing, because you have to remember it's going to be submitted and then it could be a little bit before she accepts it. So remember that you can also get a date and time stamped copy. You can also pull your case in eCourts to retrieve the date and time stamped copy. Remember that whatever you file is now available for anyone to see. I will say there has been a circumstance that we have discovered. If you find that you have attached the wrong documentation to your motion, you should be able to email or contact your clerk and ask that they reject the submission. As long as this happens before the filing has been accepted, then there shouldn't be any issues. Our presentation actually included a video tutorial done by board member Jason Cunningham. It's just a few minutes long and it shows how easy it is to actually file a motion. Unfortunately, it will not allow me to play the video during this recording, but you can find the video on YouTube. The actual link is listed, but you can simply search YouTube for NCBAA and find the video very easily. We again appreciate Jason putting this video together, and it's actually how I navigated filing my first motion in eFile. So thanks again to Jason for that. Serving school board attorneys and district attorneys, 100 counties and 100 different ways. We continue to work towards making filing requirements the same throughout the state. As more counties come online, the more we anticipate that this will become easier. We do know that still we have some that prefer to be served by email currently as a party through the system. Some prefer to still get a hand-delivered copy or a certified mailing of your motion. Western North Carolina, believe it or not, has actually kind of gone all in. District attorneys and school board attorneys absolutely just want to be served as a party through the system. A lot, however, in the eastern part of the state, from what I've been able to find out, are very much just hand deliver or send me certified mail. I will say we spoke with Rod Malone's office. Rod Malone handles a lot of counties in North Carolina. He absolutely prefers to be served as a party through the system. So we are working on the list. We'd anticipated having the list in Cherokee. It took much longer than anticipated. We are still trying to finalize that list, but once we have it, we will absolutely attach it to this or make sure that it's available for folks to get a hold of. But what we've done is we've contacted district attorneys and school board attorneys for all the 38 counties, asking them how their preferred method of service is. We would suggest that you, of course, check behind us, make sure nothing's changed, make sure there's not a new school board attorney that you're unaware of. Make sure that you just check behind us, but we're happy to share the information that we've gathered and put together to hopefully help that process along. Additional items to be aware of. So we found out pretty early on that if you were searching for a case number and it was a Superior Court case and it had the S in the case number, it would not pull correctly in eCourts. It would only show you the case number without the S. Well, that is because the S is literally going to become obsolete. They will no longer be using that. The only cases that they explain to us that should still be in the system as such are if there is a forfeiture and it is on the Superior Court case. So if you pull by name for John Doe and you see one with the S and one without, it's because the criminal case was the one without the S and the forfeiture was the one with the S in the case number. So we just tried to highlight that below or in the screen for you to see the civil and the criminal and the differences for each. If you know for a fact that a case is still pending and you are attempting to pull the next court date, use the search hearings feature instead of the smart search. That would be the second box over instead of the first. Especially with a common name, it will help pinpoint the case you need instead of pulling the whole history of pending and closed cases. If you cannot find a case number in eFile to file your motion, first please verify the case number to ensure that there isn't a typo. Make certain that you have selected the correct court to find the case. If it still doesn't work, contact your clerk's office. There have been some cases that appear to have not been pulled into the new system correctly. These have been instances where a clerk has had to accept a paper copy of a motion. So some counties that have been on eCourts for a while will still accept paper copies. What we have encountered out here in the West is that once we went live July 22nd, they said no more paper copies. That's it. We won't even accept it. So we had to figure it out very quickly of what was eCourts, what was eFile, and how to use it. We do just recommend get ahead of the game. It will take a village of the judges, the magistrates, clerks, attorneys, district attorneys, and bondsmen working together to correct errors and to decipher issues that will arise when your county comes online. You need to be patient with them. They have a lot more to learn than we do, believe it or not. They are more bogged down, I believe, with the time that it takes with the new system than we are. So as frustrating as it might be, these are the cards we've been dealt. Just be very patient and professional with those individuals. They are really struggling. We are a few months in out here in the West, and those folks are still struggling to try and figure out how to navigate or correct or fix or access information that was previously there just at the tip of their fingers. If your county isn't on eCourts yet, use this time to have some conversations with the players in your area. You might want to try to identify any problems or changes that you can and share that information with other bondsmen in your area. So we knew that we were getting this system July 22nd. I actually had conversations with magistrates. I had conversations with the clerk's office on the criminal side. I had conversations with the jail. In Henderson County, we formally posted bonds with the jail. I was assured in all those conversations that we were going to continue to post bonds with the jail. I knew from what I had heard from other counties that was not likely going to happen, but they told me that it would. I got a text message about 8:30 Sunday night, July 21st, that we would in fact be posting bonds with the magistrates starting the next morning. So those are things to try to figure out and ask them if they have a plan for, have they thought about, this is what you've heard from other counties. Just try to soften the blow that's headed that way. If you have any questions at all about any of this, of course, Jason has been a great resource for all of it. I am happy to try and help in any way that I can. If I can't answer the question, then I will absolutely try to find the answer for you. We also want to thank each of you that are a member of our association and keep contributing to our cause, which is protecting, promoting, and preserving bail in North Carolina. Thank you.